Hey, little champs. Welcome to Peaceful Whisper. Gather around, little ones, and let me tell you the story of a boy named Ollie and his magical toy box. Ollie was just like any other 7-year-old, curious, playful, and always excited for bedtime. But what made Ollie's bedtime special wasn't just his cozy blue blanket or the twinkling stars painted on his ceiling. It was his toy box. Every night, as soon as his bedroom lights dimmed and the house fell quiet, Ollie's toy box would come to life. His stuffed animals, wooden soldiers, and spinning tops would chatter, giggle, and whisper bedtime stories that no book had ever told before. There was Benny the teddy, soft and wise, who loved telling gentle tales of adventure. Jingles, the jack-in-the-box, would pop up with silly rhymes. Lottie the wooden doll always had a heartwarming story about kindness. Every toy had something wonderful to share. Tonight's story is about a rainbow that lost its colors. Benny would begin in his warm, fuzzy voice. Or sometimes Jingles would burst out. Once upon a time, a mischievous bunny learned to hop higher than the moon. Ollie would listen, wide-eyed, and drift off to sleep wrapped in the magic of their words. The night of silence. One evening, after brushing his teeth and hugging his mom goodnight, Ollie climbed into bed. He whispered eagerly, "I'm ready for tonight's story." But something was wrong. The toy box remained still. No chattering, no giggles, no bedtime magic. Ollie blinked. Benny? Jingles? Lottie? He tiptoed to the wooden toy box, carefully lifting the lid. The toys sat there, staring at him with their little button eyes, but not a single one said a word. Ollie's heart sank. "What's wrong? Why won't you talk?" Benny the teddy wiggled his soft ears and let out a tiny sigh. We forgot how." Jingles shook his curly hat. "We tried, Ollie, but the words won't come out." Lottie frowned, tapping her wooden fingers together. "We lost our bedtime magic." Ollie gasped. "Lost it? But how?" The toys looked at each other, puzzled. Benny scratched his fuzzy head. "Maybe we need to remember how to tell stories again." Jingles nodded. "But how do we do that?" Ollie sat cross-legged on the floor, thinking hard. Then an idea twinkled in his mind. "Maybe, just maybe, you need a little help." Ollie jumped up and grabbed his favorite storybook from the shelf. He held it up and said, "What if I tell you a story first? Maybe hearing a story will help you remember." The toys perked up, their tiny faces filling with hope. Clearing his throat, Ollie began. Once upon a time, there was a little firefly who couldn't glow. As he told the story, his voice filled the room, just like the toys' voices used to. Benny leaned in, listening carefully. Jingles tapped his springy hands. Lottie smiled softly. When Ollie finished, he looked at his friends. "Did that help?" Benny wriggled his nose. I think I remember something." Jingles bounced in his box. Me too. Lottie clapped her wooden hands. "Let's try." They all took a deep breath. Then Benny cleared his throat and said, "Once upon a time, in a tiny forest, a brave little mouse found a golden key." The words flowed smoothly. The magic was back. Jingles jumped up. "Oh, and a sleepy squirrel needed help to find her way home." Lottie giggled. "And a kind wind whispered secrets to the autumn leaves." The toy box was alive again, filled with stories, laughter, and bedtime magic. Ollie beamed. "You did it. You just needed a little push." Benny nodded. "And we needed you, Ollie. Without you, the stories wouldn't be the same." Ollie yawned and snuggled back into bed, listening to the toys' voices wrap around him like a warm hug. His eyes grew heavy, and soon he was fast asleep, dreaming of golden keys, whispering winds, and the magic of stories. From that night on, the toy box never lost its voice again. And Ollie learned something important. Sometimes all magic needs is a little kindness, a little help, and a good story to bring it back to life. Thanks for watching, champs. Just don't forget to like and subscribe.